Welcome into our last day of college football ACC win totals. We're going to start the Big 12 tomorrow. We're talking about the big dogs today, the big three, Clemson, Miami, Florida State. This video is about Miami. Yes, I know I need a haircut. You don't need to bring it up. I'm pretty dapper today. Yes, I know. How are we going to do this? We're going to run through the schedule every week. We're going to say which one's wins, which one's losses. We're going to talk, that's going to give us the most likely number, right? That's going to skew us to side over or under. Then I'm going to say whether or not how much I like it, whether or not I'm betting it. And you might see by the title of this video, this might be our second bet so far of the win total season here. Talking about the Miami Hurricanes, who, by the way, has the best quarterback in this conference. I don't care. It's Cam Ward, Washington State transfer. Ohio State wanted this guy. He ends up going to Miami here. He's better than Klubnik. He's better than DJ Ook. It's not close to me, in my opinion. I think this is the best team roster-wise, any ACC team. Now, I just don't think the coaching is there. I think the coaching isn't as good as a Dabo, as a Norvell of Florida State. But this is the best team roster-wise in the ACC. Win total is only 9. Let's see if we can get 9 here. I think we're going to be able to. Miami at Florida week 1. This is a monster game. This will tell me everything about Miami, in my opinion. This game reminds me so much of Florida State LSU last year. The number was the same. It was at LSU. LSU was 2.5 favorites. I was on Florida State because the SEC team, they look so enticing, right? 2.5 points you're getting with the SEC team. Should be better. ACC team goes in there and wins, right? This reminds me of the same thing. It's the same thing. It's in Florida. They're 2.5 point favorites. Miami, I think, wins the game. You look back at that Florida State LSU game, LSU was better than this Florida team. This Florida team is not good. They have a win total of 4.5. I know they have the hardest schedule in all of college football, but this Florida team is worse than that LSU team. Yes, maybe this Miami team is not as good as last year's Florida State team, but I don't think they're that far off. It wouldn't surprise me if they can match that Florida State team this year. Based off the schedule, I don't think their schedule is crazy bananas hard. You could argue this is their hardest game on the schedule right here, week 1. If they win this game, I think we go way over this total. I think we go way over this number. I think it's a win. I'm giving them a win here. I think it's a win. Week 2, home for Florida A&M. I think that's a win. I think they're 2-0. Week 3, they're home for Ball State. I think they're 3-0. Let's just give Florida the loss. Let's give them Florida the loss. Win total's 9. Let's give Florida the loss. They're 3-1. They're 2-1 here. Week 4 at South Florida could be a tricky game. I think South Florida is better. Is a better half of the G5 programs this year. I'm still going to take the win. I think that's fair to take the win here. They're 3-1. Week 5 home for Virginia Tech. That's a team you want to get at home in Virginia Tech. That's a team on the rise here, and they're getting them at home. I think it's a win. They're at home. 4-1, in my opinion, for Virginia Tech. Week 6 at Cal. Could be a tricky game. The travel, we don't know what the president of the travel is. But Auburn did it last year, and they won that game. It was closer, but Auburn wasn't the best last year. I think Miami's better than that team. I think Miami could do it, and I think they win this game. I think they're 5-1. I honestly think they're 6-0, but 5-1 fair. Bye week 7, week 8 at Louisville, I think that's the loss. I think that is their first loss. For the sake of this, we'll give it their second loss, but I think that is a loss here. So ultimately, they're 5-2. I think they're 7-1. Week 9, home for Florida State. They win this game. I could already see this. They lose to Louisville. Florida State's probably doing well. Everyone's like, Florida State's a favorite on the road for some reason. Everyone's like, oh, Florida State's going to kill them, and Miami wins this game. I can already see this. Miami wins this game. They're 8-1. Or 6-2, whatever we have here. Home for Duke's a win. That's 7-2. On the road against Georgia Tech, I think is a win. I think they're 8-2. Bye week 12, home for Wake Forest. Week 13, I think, is a win. I think they're 9-2. On the road, Syracuse to close it out, I think, is a win as well. I think they're 10-2 is the most likely number. The win total is only 9. I think 10-2 is the most likely number. I always think 11 is more likely than 9. I would lean 9 a tiny bit more. I think this is the most likely team to go 12-0 in the country. Outside of, your top end Georgia. I think this is the most likely team to go 12-0 in the country. Every hard game they have is at home, besides Louisville on the road. Every other hard game they have is at home in conference. They have Florida State at home. They have Virginia Tech at home. Yes, I know they have Florida on the road. It's kind of tough. I think if they go minimum in my opinion, I think they go 9-3 here. I would be shocked if this team goes over 4. This is a bet. We are betting this. This is one of my favorite win totals of the year, and we're not only betting 9 over. I almost like 9.5 plus 150. I think that's even worth the play. I would bet them to win the ACC plus 450. I think is the best. They're the best roster. You get plus 450 on the best roster in the ACC to win the ACC. That's a bet. I would bet them to make the playoffs. I don't know the best number on that. It's plus 210 on FanDuel. I don't know the best number. I didn't scour the books for that number. I think it's all a bet. Over 9 for Miami. Bet. It's one of my favorite plays. They could lose to Florida. I think they win. It just smells like a win to me. They could lose that game. We're still good. They could lose one of the games at home for Valtech, at Louisville, home for Florida State. They could lose 2 of those games, and we're still good at 9-3. We're tied for 9-3. This is a bet. I think 10-2 is the most likely number here for Miami. Over. Now the coaching could be a problem, but over. I think they're 10-2. I think there's a real possibility they can go 11-1, win this conference. I think they will win this conference. So plus 450 is a good play. And then plus, to make the playoffs, plus 210. It's probably a better number out there. I only checked FanDuel. Let's do it. Let's run this one. Let's ride this one. Let's get paid here on this one. I'm Josh Wissey. Bet this over 9. Thank you.